All right. Good morning, everybody. We're just going to start with our toe lifts. Good. 4, 3, 2, heels up, right, then left, right, and left. So today we have our Tabatas. And this will be fun, I promise. 4, 3, right leg. We're going to swing it front to back. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise on one side, an exercise on the other, and then we're going to do a different exercise for 2 rounds. So we've done something similar to this. It's just going to be a little bit different. Switching legs right here. Swing it front to back. So we're nice and tall. We're holding our balance. If you need to hold on to something today, that's okay. We're just trying to wake up those hips. 2. Good. Switch it to the other side, out and in. Nice, good lift. So I want you to try to get a swing. You can bring it to the midline of the body. If your hips are okay with it, you can add a little bit of a bigger swing across. Switching over to the other side, out and in. This is a good one. I really like to hold on to a wall when I do this one. 4, 3, 2. All right, slow deadlift. We're going to hinge it forwards, stand up nice and tall. So shoulders down and back. We have that belly button kind of pulled in. We're just pushing our hips back. Try to touch a wall and then come right back up. Keep it going. So run it down, bring it up. A good way to practice is really press the hands into your thighs. It's kind of like you're giving yourself a little massage. One more. Bring it up, slow squat, drop it down, push through, stand tall. So hips towards the heels. And I usually say try to keep your knees over your shoelaces. What I just want you to try not to do is actively push the knees forwards. Hips back, we sit, stand up tall. Down, down, lift, lift. One more. Good, forward step and reach right here. Forward step, pull it back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. If you can, elbows kind of out to the side. If you need to have it a little bit lower, that's okay too. 2, step with a cross body. Forward step, corner to corner. So hips, knees, and toes stay pointing forwards. You're gonna reach the arm towards the opposite side. 2. All right, side step. We're gonna take it out, hold it here. Little inner thigh reach. You can add a little rotation if you want to. Otherwise, hold it nice and steady, working those hips. 4, 3, hold it in the center, cat-cow. Inhale, exhale. So a little tuck and a little round. Think about moving your pelvis. If you don't want to tuck and round, you're gonna belly breathe. So remember, osteoporosis, osteopenia, you want to focus on stability. You're going to be doing less of the rotation and the flexion extension. One more. Good, roll it all the way up. Side step right here. Reach and pull. I want you to think about focusing on the pressing back. 4, 3, 2. All right, hamstring curls right here. We're gonna reach. I'm gonna add a little pull down. You're welcome to keep your arms a little bit more towards the front. 4, 3, 2. All right, nice wide legs. We're gonna do a slow deadlift here, and then we're gonna come back up. So a couple more deadlifts. Good, hinge and lift. All right, this time we're gonna hinge it, we're gonna hold it, we're gonna do our plank walkouts. If you need to, find that chair. Walk yourself all the way out. Take yourself all the way back up. Today we do not have any hands and knees except for our bears. So everything else is going to be either standing or on your back. The only exception is gonna be bears. If you don't want to do bears, you can do dead bugs. So that'll take you off your hands and knees. So that's one of our last circuits. Good, one more. Nice, good plank walkout. Hold it, walk it all the way back up. Give yourself a nice, good shoulder roll. Grab yourself a quick drink of water. So 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. Round one, we're gonna do kickstand deadlift on the right, kickstand deadlift on the left, and then we're gonna do squats for 2 rounds. And then we're going to repeat kickstand, kickstand, and then 2 rounds of squats. And I have to say, I'm kind of happy. I know that my vacation was very physically active, but at the same time, the only thing that's a little sore on me is the fronts of my shoulders. So I'm gonna take that as a win. All right, kickstand deadlift, one side, 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good kickstand deadlift. We're gonna hinge and we're gonna lift. You can do 2 dumbbells if you would like. I'm gonna work on a little bit of core, doing a single side. If you're doing single with me, the challenge is to not let your body rotate here. Pull that shoulder down and back. That's part of the core challenge. Good, rest. Now we're gonna switch it over to the other side. If you need to do regular deadlifts, that's okay too. 2, 1, good. So nice, good hinge. Stand up nice and tall. 90% of your weight is in your front leg. Back leg is just there for support. Nice, good hinge. Your dumbbell should really be running right down the side of your leg, like you want to set it on the floor right next to your foot. Good, rest. Now we're gonna do squats. 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, completely up to you. Good, right here. So just nice, good squats and stand. If you're having, issues with your knees and whatnot today, if you have a chair nearby, you can just do chair stands. Just sit down and stand up. Similar muscles. Sometimes that's a little bit easier on your knees if you're just having kind of a rough day. Good, rest. We're gonna do that squat one more time. So 2 rounds of this exercise. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So squat it down and stand up. So we're gonna do 1 exercise, isolation, right, left, and then we're gonna do both arms or both legs for 2 rounds. And then we're gonna repeat. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, going back for our kickstand deadlift. Good, 1 side only, 3, 2, and 1. So nice, good hinge. Stand up nice and tall. So hinge it forwards and lift. So we want to make sure we're not rounding our spine when we get closer to the floor. 2, and 1. Switching over to the other side. So nice, good kickstand. Shift your weight into that front leg. 2, and 1. So hinge it back. So nice, good hinge. Nice, good lift. So we're nice and tall. Shoulders down and back. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. All right, we're gonna go for those squats. Here's 2 and 1. So we're nice and tall. Squat it down, lift it up. You do not have to hold your dumbbells like I am. I'm doing this for a very particular reason. You do not have to. Just hold your dumbbell wherever it's comfortable. This isn't super comfortable, but I discovered I do need to work on this just a little bit. Good, rest. Got 1 more set of squats. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, squat it down, lift it up. So we're nice and tall. Again, we want to make sure we're not letting those dumbbells pull our chest and torso forwards. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, shake it out, walk it around, grab yourself a quick drink. And we're gonna move on. Circuit number 2. We have curtsy lunge on the right, curtsy lunge on the left, and bicep curls. So first couple rounds, our lower body, then we're gonna have some upper body as well. Decide if you wanna use a dumbbell or not. 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good curtsy, cross, and then lift up. Cross and lift. We just don't want to turn our bodies here. Hips, knees, and toes are pointing forwards. Little cross. You should feel like you're sinking into that glute. Doesn't have to be super deep. Your curtsy might be here. Good. Rest. Switching over to the other side. So same thing. Try to keep those hips, knees, and toes pointing towards the front. Here we go. So it's just a little curtsy and lift. Curtsy and lift. A lot of times we tend to have one leg where we start to turn a little bit more. It's just a crossover, push through. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bicep curls. I'm gonna do different kind of curl each round. This round, I've got hammer curls. So I'm gonna do palms facing in, lift and lower. Palms in, lift and lower. Elbows stay pointing down towards the floor. So we don't want to bring it up and lift. It's just a nice good curl. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, this round, I'm rotating, palms facing forwards. Shoulders down and back. Here's 2 and 1. So same thing, curl it up, slow lower. Curl and lower. If you start getting a little tired, there's nothing wrong with doing alternating, especially if you decided to go a little heavier today. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going for our curtsies. Try to go a little bit deeper if you can. 3, 2, and 1. So for your curtsy, I'm really thinking, can I put my dumbbell right next to the side of my foot? Even if I can't get that far, that's my goal. So try to really think, set it down right next to your foot. You're gonna use your foot to measure your dumbbell, or vice versa. 2, and 1. Switching over to the other side. 3, 2, and 1. So remember, your curtsy can be little. We're kind of pushing down and back into that hip. If you put your hand on your buns, you'll feel it get a little stretched out. You'll feel those muscles kind of kick on. Even if you have a little bit of fluffy, it's okay. It's still there. 3, 2, and 1. All right, bicep curls. I'm gonna go back. Hammer curl, round 1. Palms forward, round 2. 2, and 1. So nice, good curl. Lift and lower. All these hammer curls, you look like you're swinging a hammer. So if we start getting a little tired, sometimes we start digging our elbows in, or if it's a little heavy, we start to swing. Keep it controlled. Good, rest. One more set, and we're gonna move on. Next round is all upper body. We'll give those legs a break. 2, and 1. So palms facing forwards curls. I'm feeling this a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my alternating. Nice, good neutral wrists. Sometimes we start to let the wrist kind of kick back and drop, and we wanna keep it nice and neutral. So it's finding that happy medium. Good, rest. So it's that, sometimes with working out, it's like Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. All right, we're gonna do rear delt right, rear delt left, and then we're gonna do rows. I like to do this one lunge position with a nice good lift, but you do what feels good. I'm gonna do single dumbbell. So rear delt, right, left, and then basic row. 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good rear delt. So again, I like the forward fold. I'm trying not to let my body rotate. And the one thing to watch is I'm coming straight out to the side. We don't want to bring it like way up or take it back or forwards. It's straight out, back of the hand towards the ceiling. Last one. Good, switching sides. If you've got a chair nearby or even a countertop, I like to do my hand on the counter. Here we go. So a nice good hinge. My core is braced, but my hand is able to help support my upper body a little bit. Hold myself nice and neutral. Same thing if you've got a chair right here. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going for rows. I'm going to do both arms. If you want to alternate or do one side only, that's fine. Go for it. So nice, good hinge, belly's in, drive, and lower. Drive, and lower. And you can kind of see that the end of my dumbbell is traveling right up the side seam of my pant leg. And that's kind of what we're going for. We're going knee to hip. Rest. One more set. There's nothing wrong with standing in the middle. 3, 2, and 1. So this is our deadlift position. We're at the down position for a deadlift. And this is what we're gonna hold. If you need to do the alternating, you can alternate. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna repeat that. Rear delt, gonna go for 20 seconds, one side only. 2, and 1. So nice, good lift, nice, good lower. We wanna control the down as well as the up. So maybe we go up and then resist that dumbbell getting pulled down towards the floor. Your muscles work both directions, lifting and lowering. 2, and 1. We need to work on the lowering as well. It's just, I think when you pick something up, we don't always just want to let it drop back down to the floor. Good, here we go. So controlling it on the way down means that if you've got to set down something heavy, you can control it when you're setting it down instead of just having to let it drop. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we have our rows, 2 rounds. Here's 2 and 1. So tuck the ribs, belly's in, hinge at the hips, row, release, row, release. I'm definitely feeling this one today, not in a bad way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 10 seconds rest. Next round is going to be some lower body with an upper body. 3, 2, and 1. So good row. It's kind of tough to see, but again, we want to make sure that we're not rounding our spine. We shouldn't feel like we're stretching our back, but we shouldn't feel like we're arching and really opening up that chest. So it's that little bit of a tuck. Belly's in. 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. Walk around, grab a drink. We're going to do reverse lunges on the right, reverse lunges on the left, and then we're gonna do tricep kickbacks or an overhead extension. I might do an overhead extension today, but if you wanna do kickbacks, that's perfect. So, reverse lunge. If you don't want to do a full lunge, remember little lunges are okay. We're just going to give it a shot. 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So reverse lunges, we're nice and tall. Step it back and lift. When we step back, we're not keeping all of our weight in the front leg and doing a tap. We're stepping and we're trying to think about dropping the back knee towards the floor. So again, front knee is trying to stay about over your shoelaces. Good, rest. Doesn't have to stay perfectly over your ankle. We just don't want to push it forward over the toes. 2 and 1, good. So little lunge, bring it up. Front leg is doing 90% of the work. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super deep. Mine kind of looks deep and it really isn't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, tricep kickbacks or an overhead extension if you're feeling that with me today. 2 and 1. So I'm going to slowly lower my dumbbells and then bring it back up again. If you're doing this and your elbows are out here and you have to tuck your chin to not hit yourself in the head, I want you to do a kickback. It just means your shoulders don't like this position, and that's okay. Here's 2 and 1. So a little bit of a rest. And this is one especially if you're not used to doing overhead. Good, let's bring those arms up. Go light, so you don't have to go super heavy, but our goal is to not let the elbows bend and kick out to the side. Try to keep them pointing forwards, kind of close to your head. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, reverse lunges. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So we're just gonna step it back, drop it down, push through, stand tall. If you wanna make it a little bit harder, I want you to drive your knee. This is gonna be more of a balance challenge, and we're gonna get our hips in there. Plus, a little bit of core. 3, 2, and 1. Little shakeout. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So find your lunge and then stand tall. This leg on me, my hip likes to kick out, so I really am trying to work on that. Use those inner thigh muscles to keep my hip and my knee steady. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, short rest. Gonna go for our triceps, overhead extension or kickbacks. And if you wanna do one dumbbell on these, go for it. So lower and lift. So just reach back. This is, you're running the loofah, the handled loofah. Wash your back. Or I know some of you probably have one of those back scratchers. Whoever invented those was a genius. 2 and 1. All right, one more set of these, and then we're gonna head down to the floor. You don't have to if you don't want to. 2 and 1. So same thing here though. We don't wanna puff out our chest and arch our back. Just a little tuck. Tucking the ribs under, pull it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. Walk around, grab a drink. All right, down on the floor. We're gonna do half kneeling chops, right, left, and then a bear hold. If you wanna stay standing, what I want you to do is to be in a lunge position. It doesn't have to be down, just a lunge position, so we're having to hold our balance, and we're going to go hip to shoulder. Hip to shoulder, no rotation of your hips and knees. If you are not doing rotations, you're just going to do a press out, okay? You're gonna hold it and press out. Right side, left side. Bear hold. If you're standing, weighted march, or an incline plank, if you wanna do that. But the rest of us are gonna head down to the floor. So nice, good half kneeling position. That means tail feather tucked, glute is squeezed. Grab a dumbbell if you'd like. It doesn't have to be heavy. But in 3, 2, and 1. So we're just gonna do that nice good chop. So we're gonna take it down, bring it up. If you keep the tuck and you keep the squeeze, that's gonna help prevent you from doing a lot of rotation. Now remember, you don't have to rotate. You can just do a press out. This is core. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna switch over to the other side. So we're all doing that little tail feather tuck, that little glute squeeze, shoulders over our hips. We're gonna take it down and we're gonna bring it up. Down and up. Do the press out if you don't wanna do the rotation. Good, we've got 10 seconds. Think about controlling it. Down, lift, down, lift. 2 and 1. All right, if you're standing, weighted march, incline push-up, or incline plank. If you're on the floor, bear or dead bug. Bear or dead bug. But here's our dead bug, or here's our bear. This is just, we're in a good hands and knees position. We lift with the hips, and we get our knees like 2 inches off the ground, okay? We're not up here, and we're not trying to push our hips back. We just lift. Good, 3, 2, 1. Carefully set the knees down, short rest. We're gonna do that one more time. 4, 3, good, hands and knees, shoulders down, brace your core, lift and hold right here. Just a bear. Now a knee plank or a plank, your legs are farther back, same with the knees. This is hands and knees, and you just lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Gonna go through that one more time. Remember our last set, we're gonna be on our backs. Here's 2 and 1. So hip and then shoulder, hip and shoulder. So keep that tuck, keep that squeeze, or we're gonna do our press outs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, switch it over to the other side. You can tell I'm feeling my legs today. Woohoo! Here's 2 and 1. We've got the tuck, we've got the squeeze, hip to shoulder, down and lift. So we control it, so we don't have to do huge movements. It can be smaller. 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bears, dead bugs, standing, weighted march, incline plank. 2 and 1. So shoulders down, brace the core, lift. So imagine you've got a dinner plate or a glass of water on your back and you don't want to spill. And I'm feeling my quads for sure. 4, 3, 2, 1. Short rest. Sit it back. I'm actually going to do an up dog. I'm feeling my quads and my hip flexors. 3, 2, and 1. So nice good tuck. Nice good lift. Ten seconds. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Super quick drink. Last circuit. We're doing a chest press on the right, a chest press on the left, and then pullovers. If you are standing, I want you to do a banded chest press right, banded chest press left, and then you can do a straight arm press back. If you don't have a band, sit in a chair and lean back and do an incline press right, incline press left, and then we're all gonna do, if you're standing, you're all gonna do press backs, okay? We're gonna take it down onto the floor. Nice good chest press. We're gonna do one side only, and you can have a dumbbell in the other hand ready to go. A little bit of an extra challenge, but 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So good 20 seconds. We're gonna bring it up. One arm only, chest press. Now you can have the other arm down. I'm holding it up just for a little extra challenge. Good, rest. Rest in the up or the down position, your choice. 3, 2, 1, good. So lower and lift. I have my elbows out at an angle. I am not straight out to the side like you would in Scorpion or a letter T. I'm trying to form the letter A. So you can see my head is the point, my elbows are the 2 legs, and I can draw a line across my lower ribs. Good, rest. We're gonna go for pullovers. 1 dumbbell or 2. I'm doing 1 for convenience. Low back, hold into the floor. Lower the dumbbell, and then bring it right back up again. You do not have to touch the floor here. Your challenge is when your arms get closer to the floor is to not let your ribs lift up and your low back come off of the floor. We keep those ribs tucked the whole time. Good, rest. Got 1 more set of those. And then we're going to go through those 2 exercises one more time. Good, time's on. Lower and lift. If you're standing or you're sitting today, straight arm press back. Make sure we're breathing. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Going back for our chest presses. Good, time is on. So shoulders away from the ears, low back pulled into the floor. Lower and lift. When we lower, we don't want to lower and bring the end of the dumbbell to our chest. Kind of think about arm going out, wrist is going to stay in line with your elbow. 2 and 1, short rest. 1 more set. Good, 3, 2, 1. Switch it over to the other side. Same thing. So lower and lift. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go for our pullovers. So secure that dumbbell or dumbbells. Here we go. Lower back pulled into the floor, ribs tucked. Try to keep the elbows soft, but all movement is coming from your shoulders. This is the exact same motion as taking your arms up overhead. So if you struggle getting arms overhead, you may struggle a little with this one too. Just find that range of motion, good rest, that works for you. You can do this with a lightweight, work on technique, work on range of motion. Good, last set, 20 seconds. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Set the dumbbells down. A little bit of a shakeout. You can give yourself a rest. If you're on your back, give yourself a minute. I'm going to come to seated for a moment, and then I'm going to carefully get up. I'm going to put my equipment away. You can stay down on the floor if you'd like, and just make sure that you have space to do a little bit of stretching, especially if you're feeling maybe a little lightheaded today. All right, we're gonna sit on our buns, hands by our hips, shoulders down and back, and we're just gonna do our 90-90s. So the goal is to find that range of motion that's gonna work for your hips. So a challenge is to do this without holding on. We're just trying to internally and externally rotate those hips. If this does not work for you, this is just fine as long as the movement is coming from your hips. That's what we want to work on. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it into the center, right leg out straight. Left leg, we're going to cross the foot over. I want you to sit as tall as you can. So really think about coming up onto that pelvis. So you should feel your sits bones, those 2 bony spots under your buns. And we're just going to pull the knee towards the opposite shoulder. If you don't feel this, make sure that you're not rocked back. If you sit up nice and tall, you'll feel this a little bit more. Nice, good stretch. 4, 3, 2, switching over to the other leg. Same thing, take the leg out, foot on the floor, sit tall, pull the knee towards the opposite shoulder. You don't have to do the torso rotation. That's optional. I am not doing that today. Just really focusing on stretching my legs. We did a lot of legs today. Good, bring it in. We're going to take the legs out into a straddle. How wide your straddle is between you and your hips. We're going to take our right hand on the floor by our right hip and we're going to do a side bend. We don't want to reach towards our foot yet. I want you to imagine that the back of your body is on a wall and we're trying to reach up more than we're trying to reach over. Good. Switching over to the other side, same thing. Nice, good reach. Three, two, one. Bring it up. We're going to sit tall. We're going to turn towards our right leg and we're going to hinge. You can see I get just past my knee, but I feel a stretch. We don't want to round our back and take our forehead towards our knee. I want you to think nose towards your toes. So nose towards your toes. 4, 3, bring it up. We're going to again turn to the left, sitting tall, and again, chest towards your heel or nose towards your toes. Good. Let's bring it up into the center. We're going to come over onto hands and knees, sit back into a child's pose. If you need to, you can always come up to a standing position here and do this with your hands on a wall or a table or the seat of a chair. And we're just going to hinge it back, stretch out underneath the arms. You can do a little side-to-side wiggle. Good. Bring it up. We're going to walk it back, hands and knees. We're going to take our hands right by our knees. I'm going to take my knees a little bit wide, kind of a froggy position. Right hand by my right knee, left hand lightly behind my ear. I'm going to take it elbow to elbow, and then I'm going to open. Now, osteoporosis, osteopenia, you can hold it in one position and then open and hold it so it's not as repetitive. Good. Let's bring it up. Switch it over to the other side. So hand is by the knee. Push that floor away. Hand lightly behind the ear on the other side. Elbow to elbow. And then open. And this is all about your torso and your shoulders. So we're working on torso mobility here. So opening up your upper spine can also help with your shoulders. And it can help with your back if you have issues with your low back. Good. One more time. All right, let's bring it in. Walk those knees in a little bit. We're going to do our half kneeling stance. We're going to stretch out the front of our hip and our quad. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, nice and tall. Take it forward and bring it back. You can do this standing. You do not have to do this on the floor. So if your knees are bugging you today, or you can sit sideways in a chair and just hold this position. This leg would be hanging off the front of your chair. You'd sit sideways. Good. One more. Bring it in, switch it over to the other side. Same thing. So tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, nice tall posture. We're just going to go forward and we're going to go back. Your front knee is again staying behind your toes. So if you feel like your heel wants to lift up off the ground, try moving your lower leg a little bit further forwards so that your knee stays more securely over your foot. Good. Here's our last one. All right, we're going to pull this front leg back a little bit. You can do hand on the thigh, but we're going to come up to a standing position. Ribs tucked, nice good pat on the back. We're going to hold it. I want you to try to really walk your hands a little bit farther back. Feel that stretch in the back of your arm. And then we're going to bring those arms down, shoulders down and back, and we're just going to take our ear to our shoulders, side to side. Bring the head up. We're going to look to one side, look to the other. Bring it into the center. Big breath in. Spread your fingers, spread your toes, and exhale. One more time. Big breath in and out. And you are all done.